Oh, well, what do you want to know? Let's see. This is a bouquet of trees. The series is called Bouquet. I originally made it for an American embassy basically in Guangzhou, China. I thought that a bouquet of trees seemed appropriate, so they're kind of projected high. And then whenever I make a series, I make a few different, so I can sort of try it out in the space. So for these are number, oh gosh, I'm going to be wrong, 12 and 13 of the series, so they're getting towards the end. These are Judy Crook trees. They're made in honor of my color teacher from undergrad, Judy Crook, obviously. And she was an amazing inspiration to me. I've actually made a few different series in honor of my teachers. The first one was for Miss Zenerald. She was my first grade teacher, and if you think about it, when you in first grade, you make these trees with sponges, and then you draw the leaves. That's what we did, and she told me I made the best tree in the class. So here we are. So funny. Yeah, I know. I don't know if she just knew.
So is it a made-up tree that you made up, or is it
yeah.
a real tree? So
most of my trees are made-up trees.
okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like a crepe myrtle with.
Oh, yeah. No, they're supposed to be kind of like skin a little bit. But the only trees that I've made that are realistic are the birch trees in the back. And that piece, I can tell you about that piece. It's called Blind Eye. It was made for a panoramic display at the Clark in Massachusetts. It's a Tadeo Ando building. It's just incredibly beautiful and precise. And so I made a panorama that fills the entire wall, and then this beautiful window on the side. And there's birch trees surrounding this building. And so I researched birches, and that they really like to bend, and they have these these don't have, they have these eyes that occur when the branches fall off, and the leaves is sort of eye-like shape. So I thought about blinds of trees, and I thought about monocular vision, and also the term blind eye, which I hear it all the time in the news. Turning a blind eye to this, that, and all the stuff going on in the world. So it kind of came from that, and it's also about monocular vision. So there's no perspective in the piece in the back room. There's no receding, like you might make a drawing with receding buildings or something. So the perspective comes from layering. There's 3 different layers, and the speed. So the different layers, I was good at inverted. The speed, the further back ones move slower than the ones in the front, and through value. So, and then, of course, it's placed through the seasons. Also, while I was making that, my brother, he went blind in one eye. Although I was well into the piece, so it was just one of those, coincidences. He got a tooth infection, and it made him blind. So brush your teeth, you won't go blind. So I don't know, it was just weird. But so, yeah, let's see. Then there's the little dance hall girl, which actually is kind of a cowboy theme. I was watching a movie, and I don't know, somehow the term dance hall girl sort of stuck with me, and I thought I would make these little dance hall girl pieces in honor of working women. And let's see, then there's an interactive piece in here, which you've got to take a sensor, and if you walk around in a giant circle, for example, it'll make a giant circle, and then of course you can make all kinds of things. If you walk around like this, it will make it looks like a helix. There's all kinds of things you can make with it. So that one's sort of a VR piece. So it's using the tools of virtual reality to interact with the space. And one thing my work does is it interacts with architecture. So that's why I have lights in the space, so that so you can see. It's not like a dark room exactly. The trees kind of magically, I guess, form this dimensional relationship between the space and the projected image. So it's important. I'll take questions. Yes?
Question about the fruit. Does each piece of fruit have its own algorithm, how it travels?
They collide with each other. So they follow the wand around the sensor. And so they're programmed to kind of follow, and they know to bump into each other. So it's all real time. It's generated real time, like a video game would be, perhaps.
What's the process of producing this art?
Well, I just made these a few months. I started a few months ago. I paint textures for the sort of bark or skin.
On a computer screen.
Yes, in Photoshop. And yeah, I don't paint with paint. Although that would be nice, but everything, I mean, I've had this rule which I only broke once, that everything is generated in the computer. So once I made a piece where I made Sharpie drawings and scanned them, and that's the only time. Otherwise, everything is, I don't know why that's important, but you need rules to kind of constrain yourself, I don't know.
You have algorithms to move the piece that you use for the...
Yes, there's a certain amount of wind that, like the leaves are blowing because there's a little bit of wind, and they fall off because I animate them to fall off. All right. Don't look. Oh my God. You better, yeah.
Generally, art is a medium you paint on and put in the gallery and purchase in the buyer takes home. So I'm not sure how these are working, but we consider it a licensing. If there's an event or some particular institution, are these available in different ways? Since they're a different matter of art?
They're usually purchased and collected and installed more permanently, although I've donated work for fundraisers. There's one that's going to be a ceiling for in the UK. I'm going to space out on what it's for. I've done a lot of like charity events and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question, though. I've got to talk to my lawyer. I'm going to talk to my lawyer about that. Because I wonder.
Let me give you my phone.
Oh my God. There's so
so
many questions.
It must have taken a long time to render. Do you work with
Pretty.
companies?
Yeah. No, I render. I have a lot of computers and I render them.
Like a render
They're
farm?
freaking slow. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi Jennifer, I'm Colette. We did an email interview, so for anybody who might not have read what our discussion, I thought it would be interesting if you talked a little bit about some of the subversive underlying conceptual ideas and how it's relating to the socio-political world that we live in. Because on surface, people are probably looking and going, wow, this is so beautiful, and not thinking about, what's happening in, right? So I
Yeah.
thought maybe giving a little bit of insight.
And I just wanted to say that Colette did an interview with the artist on last hire.
Yeah.
Discussed all this.
That's like my favorite interview. It just flowed. It just flowed. It was like, I'm really happy with it. It's great questions. I don't know. So you should all read it. I don't know.
We could talk about.
Though the piece womb, yeah,
And
fruits.
how that's relating to what's happening right now.
Well, you can interpret my work in lots of different ways. All my work is feminist. It's all from the point of view of a woman making work in a certain sensuality. So that's been the basis since the beginning. Womb is using fruit. Fruit are the ovaries of plants, and that's something a lot of people don't really know, which is so weird, but I guess I didn't know it either. And I mean, if you think of the Fruit of the Loom commercials, it's hilarious. Men in fruit outfits, that's cute. But I just think they probably weren't thinking about that. So, but it's good. Maybe they were, and I don't know. You might have to ask pointed questions about that. Let's see. I just made a piece that showed in New York called Impeach. So you can imagine what that, and it was using peaches and lots of fruits squishing and stuff. It was starting to work while it was installed. I don't know, so I'm hoping every day